welcome to Africa's Talking, which powers conversation across Africa. We power communication between businesses, governments, and organizations of all sizes and their customers or citizens on our SMS, USSD, airtime, and voice gateways. And API is not forgetting buying data bundles for your employees or your friends. Africa's Talking supports GDPR data compliant communication on our future-ready customer data platform, Valerian. Check it out. Today, we are blessed to have a representative of Tanzania tech ecosystem, and we're going to have a conversation with them extensively to know what is happening, what has been happening, what needs to be done, and the challenges, the wins. There are a couple of things that is happening in Tanzania. And from our previous conversations, I've realized that they are so humble to share. But in this, we normally always share what is happening. This is in collaboration with Impact Masters, and I'm your host, Michael Kimathi. Welcome. So, guys, how are you? You're good? You're good? Nice. We have Veronica, V, and it's Veronica Michael, actually. We have Alfeo, Raymond, and we have Justine, Mainira. And all these guys are amazing guys. Welcome. How are you guys? It's a good question. So far, so good. The food is good. If you wanna enjoy a country to the fullest, it has to be the food. So for me to get clear conversation from you, maybe please make sure when you're speaking, the microphone is this close, so that we're able to get something that is crispy. Thank you so much. So you good guys?
Very good.
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah. I must say that food is good. Also, the weather is good. I'm here to go and swim. Actually, from where we're doing this is a couple of kilometers, not even kilometers, a few. It's kilometer, right? To the beach, right? Amazing stuff. So I hope I'll get some time and go there and experience it. Also, we are a couple of kilometers from one of the innovation spaces, Boone Innovation Hub. We'll be doing an event on Thursday, a full day workshop, partly hackathon, partly knowledge sharing, and a couple of opportunities will be shared there. A lot of opportunities. I don't know there's any developer across DA or even Tanzania actually who should miss this. Unfortunately, if you'll be listening to this hackathon, maybe you will be wondering when this is happening. No, this is actually happening on 20th September 2022. So the hackathon is on 22nd September 2022. So, and this is not published live. We just have, we are only live on Twitter, but these will be published across our platform later on, including Africa's Talking podcast, Impact Masters podcast through Impact Masters Media. So feel free to always follow up in case of anything. So it's a continuous opportunity. So guys, Tanzanian tech ecosystem. And also just to note, when people will be joining us on the Twitter, we'll see if they can ask questions or maybe interact with us, and then we can have that conversation. Yes, I would like to know what's happening. What's been happening in Tanzanian ecosystem, tech ecosystem specific.
Well, I would say a lot has been happening because I would say since 2018 and up until now, things have been changing. The ecosystem is growing and expanding, and people are becoming more aware about tech stuff and all the opportunities inside tech. So the ecosystem is actually becoming wider, and I can see daily more ladies also coming into the ecosystem. And as you know, tech is growing, so also everything else I think it's growing, because I was 2 weeks ago there was a FileCon, I think, event down at Seychelles. So there are a lot of people, I mean, new faces that mostly I've never seen before. So
What can you repeat? Was that FireCon?
Filecon,
Okay.
Web3 and Filecon.
Okay.
It's an Orbit community.
Uh,
It's an Orbit Tanzania community.
uh.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Uh, Millennium Towers, Seychelles.
This is in Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it
When
was.
we say Seychelles, I what came in my mind is the Seychelles the country. Is it the country or the island?
Seychelles.
I was
The
like, okay,
island.
I saw another European Union happening there.
Okay.
Some other time, and one of my community members, long-time community members, was
Yeah.
building a Kuza freezer. And I think this is very important to share because this has been happening in the community in Mombasa, which is same as Dar es Salaam kind of vibe, which is coastline, right? Though Mombasa is not as big as Dar es Salaam. So he's been building freezers which are powered by solar energy to
Wow.
preserve fish.
Okay.
Amazing stuff. He has been working on this for the last maybe 3-4 years to show you how serious he is. And right now I see him presenting these forums, trying to also raise funds to even scale. And it's a game changer when you talk about blue economy. So when you mentioned that, that's what came in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, and
That's
it's good that it brought all these.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great stuff. Yeah. So the ecosystem is now saturated and it's growing, and I would say most of us are lucky to be the product of the community.
Yeah.
I mean, I came in tech knowing nothing, but here I am, and I work in tech, and I'm still learning. But then just being able to be there and attend these hackathons, attend events, and having people who work full time,
Yeah.
but then they have time to actually engage in all these other events. I think that's it's a point. It's a plus point for the ecosystem.
Yeah.
But also, as anything is growing, there are also, I would say, people that will grow with it, and then there'll be a lot of people attracted to it, whether
Yeah.
good or bad. But then,
Yeah.
I would say our ecosystem needs to be more vibrant and have more passionate people who represent us, because as a country, if those who represent us are not as vibrant and they're not as passionate, it actually doesn't. It brings this awkward picture,
Yeah.
about the country. About the country.
You
No,
said awkward picture?
no, awkward.
Awkward, okay. I was like, what is awkward picture? Okay, awkward picture.
Yeah,
Okay, so.
it
But it also makes a point like
Yeah.
where people are always waiting for, to be saved.
yeah.
I think we're beyond that actually, and what we are saying without saying it in this generation, if you want to work with us, invest in what you're doing as a
Yeah,
business,
yeah.
because that's more scalable. Because if I'm hungry today and you give me food,
Yeah.
you haven't solved my problem,
Yeah.
because tomorrow maybe I might be hungry because some of the contribution of these like natural disasters,
Yeah.
like lack of rains, famine, and whatnot. So I think that also applies. It should be hashtag Okwa picha.
Awkward picture.
Hakuna Okwa picha.
Yeah,
Very catchy.
Yeah.
very catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, as you said, also, we also, people in the ecosystem and people outside this ecosystem, we still need to, stand up. I mean, it's not enough. We're there, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We still really need to work really hard towards this. I mean, towards whatever goal we have. I think we really need to work hard.
Yeah.
I think 2 days ago, I did Google the I think first the ranking of countries, East African countries. No, African countries in technology. So the first one is South Africa, then Nigeria, then Kenya. Then I looked everywhere. It was a pivotal moment, but I was like, this is the moment of truth. TZ was not in the top 10, And
Yeah.
and we have people here doing amazing stuff. Yeah. Doing amazing stuff. I wonder if people know that Benjamin Fernandez is from TZ.
I was surprised by that because he presented in one of the community.
Yeah.
And this is how powerful the community is actually. It's not a long time ago. I don't know if it's a month or two
Yeah.
ago. He was in Kenya launching
Yeah.
Kenyan chapter. And a friend of mine who I more or less guided in one of the incubation which I used to work at, referred him to the community event that was happening, and that's how I got to meet him. So it was more like, hey, would you like this guy to come and present at your event? And like, okay, let him send the profile. We'll try to hard because we just had like 1 week. But given the maturity of the communities that I run, some of them I've run them for 6 years, some of them 10 years. So it's quite mature. So I shared around and people showed up. And here I meet, he looks okay. I don't want to say this, but it doesn't look so much of an African. So I was like, okay. But number one, I didn't assume he knows Swahili. And when he talked to me, I was like, actually, this is what happened, to be specific. So he has some colleagues, because the headquarters is in London, right? So he has some colleagues who are white, right? So they came in fast. So I was like, first and foremost is like my head, this guy is not African. But I was waiting to see. So when he came with that it's Tanzanian vibe. They're like, yeah, no, actually, not like that. We spoke English, but I was like, do you know Swahili? He said, yeah, I'm Tanzania. Like, you could just, yeah, I could tell. Exactly. So, yes. So I was like, this is cool because, to be honest, before then I didn't know Tanzanian as some, proper, scalable, legit solution.
Yeah.
And given these are finance, company, fintech company, which enables remittance at home, I was so impressed. And then when I read his profile, he was really smart. Like he went to, I don't know, Stanford, I don't know, Harvard.
Yeah.
At a really young age, he was so impressive even here. And it was really showing what I've been always trying to prove, that Africans are the most smartest. Among smartest, if not the most smartest in everything that we do. The only problem is that our mindset is to be, we don't have self-esteem, or we don't want to talk about it. And now we hide behind being humble. Even in Kenya, actually, most people don't like, you might ask someone who is really doing well and they're like, we're trying to.
Yeah, it's be humble.
We're trying, right? Tunajaribu tu, ni kujaribu tu.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're not saying people should brag. All we're saying is that let's tell our story so that in case there's someone else there who thinks it's not possible, they can take the mantle and actually, do it.
I mean, there still are the really good people in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
A good example is Caleb.
Yeah, so like we have in an AI company, actually like a SAI company, it's called Sarufi AI. So this friend of ours,
I think I've heard about it. Yeah.
So like last week he was in South Korea. He went for last 2 weeks. He was in South Korea, like to represent Tanzania in the the startup community of AI. See, and also we have edtech company called Silabu. It's provide education and learning materials to like teachers and students.
Yeah.
See, and also it is sponsored by GitHub. Or Google. Sorry. So it kind of, we look in the past 5 years from where we came from to where we are going. We see we have a lot of movements, and I can say it's kind of what people like. A lot of people have been starting engaging into like developing things, not thinking what can I do, but focusing on what am I doing for now, for tomorrow also. So we are going in the right way.
Yes.
So, and from the movement that we are doing right now, seeing for the next 10 years, we'll have a lot of things to show. We won't have that picture that we had like in the past 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the right track, not only as Tanzanian, but also as African.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, we have really come a long way. And maybe this is about time that maybe I share so that actually, most people look at Kenya right now and say they are doing really well. Of course they are. But I'll tell you like how these happen. So back in 2010, 2008, 2009, 2010, Kenyans, saw that actually there is so much in tech that is happening, especially in Nigeria and whatnot.
Yeah.
And Nigerians are quite
very
quite
like
something
aggressive. When they want to do something,
yes,
they do it.
So they are quite vibrant in how they pitch, in how they speak, in how they present themselves. And Kenyan adopted that vibe. The same way you're saying, maybe Kenyans, they are better off, whatnot. And then they made a lot of noise. We call it hype. So there was so much hype in 2010, and everyone in the world thought that Kenya is the best place that a lot of things are happening.
How was that? Was it organized or it just came out?
No, it's just whereby you find someone is pitching and then you find you should pitch, right? Without not giving it so much thought.
The vibe of Kenya started when M-Pesa started, like mobile money started. So it was not like the first mobile transaction, a mobile network transaction, like money bank, M-Pesa. It kind of woke Kenyans. Like we can do things. Like if M-Pesa was our first thing, what about others? Yes.
I mean, yes, that's actually what I was trying to put across, that there was so much noise. IP is just noise without substance, right? And over time, there are so many companies that came down to do hackathons, give prizes, invest, and even though accelerators open there, I remember like 88 and PH, I think it's still there if I'm not wrong, or it's transition. That's when Nairobi Garage opened, all these IAB back in the day. But with any noise, it always calms down. You can't make noise forever.
Yeah.
So once it calms down, then the true product or the true tools that you've been building will show. So I realize there's so much noise, and it's good for the ecosystem to put it to create the attention. But for me individually and a couple of other friends, we decided to focus on equipping developers with the right skills, because if there are no developers who can build stuff, you can make all the noise, you can be a good salesman, you can be a good business developer, you can be a good investor, but at the end of the day, there will be no much to show, right? And even the company right now I work for, Africa Stocking, it's then they were putting in work. For them, they were building solution. Some had come back from US, I don't know, US or Hong Kong, and he had to re-strategize and build the whole product again to ensure that it's scalable. So what I'm trying to put across here is that beside the noise is good, but it doesn't do the work. You need people who are skilled, people who are putting in like 18 hours or 15 hours or 10 hours of code, debugging it, making sure that it's clean code, making sure that the design, the UI, the UX, making sure that the solution works, building the architecture. And that takes silence, right? It takes some time of learning and hackathons and workshops and community putting in work. So right now, I think Tanzanian, you're in the right place that you can actually start with the work. You don't have to make the noise. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if you guys are planning to make the noise, because if you are, please change that strategy.
Yeah. So, of course, for me, I would approach this question. The primary question was like, how is the Tanzanian tech ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right now a lot of things have came up. Like as my fellow mentioned about Nala Money, right? All these startups that are actually building solutions, right? Of course, there have been a lot of hypes in the past. People like raising funds, and you don't hear them. People going to, incubators, but after the incubator, you don't hear anything, right? That wave has been there, But right now, I see even on the, the Tanzanian Twitter community, you'll see people, taking back that, like, we can't do that, incubators shouldn't just, incubators will hype the incubation. We have this accelerator program, come pitch your idea and stuff back in the day. It still happens though somehow, but founders and the tech community is starting to realize that we just don't need to hear more about the incubation. We don't need to hear more about the acceleration, but we want to see which products, which companies are they coming out of your acceleration. You see, so people are moving away from that, even at the individual level. Back in the day when I was starting, for example, when I was starting to learn programming, it was so hard to spot a developer and ask them questions. You wouldn't see them, though they were there. But I think with the growth, I think this is coming from other regions, seeing, they came in here, Andela Learning Community. They came in here, developers from Nigeria. You start to see that interaction, how things are done in other countries, how developers are doing. Developers have this mindset, or this I think it's just it happens by default due to like coding and stuff.
Yeah.
Sitting and talking to your screen all the time.
Yeah.
So they don't do a lot of noise.
Yeah.
They don't talk about what they are doing. So it's very hard sometimes to spot them.
Yeah.
But things are changing now. Now you can see developers engaging on Twitter, developers chatting on the public Twitter, chatting about bugs going on in their computers in different locations in the country.
I mean, it starts with the conversations. As much as devs don't like talking and they allow their work to talk, you should be able to balance the two, right? Because at the end of the day, even once you build the product, you'll need to present it either for to the customer or to sell, or there's that process. But if there's more talking than building, of course, it's better you have more building than talking, because at the end of the day, there'll always be a product. Yeah.
To add on what Justine has said, I think it also this narrative about developers in TZ just being quiet, I think it's changing. It's actually coming along with these with the growth of freelancers. We have so many developer freelancers right now, people working remotely.
Yeah.
So you might find people working here, but they're still working remotely. So that forces them actually to come out of their shell.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you cannot be a developer and working with a remote company and then you just have to be quiet. So you have to learn soft skills, you have to learn communication skills, you have to learn, planning your project, how you present it.
Yeah.
So I think this has also come with the rise of freelance work, gig economy and, remote work and all this due to the rise of Corona.
Yeah.
So things have actually they're taking a very, very different turn.
Yeah.
Now you see designers sharing their designs, just normal designs on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, look at my design, rate it. It was that kind of thing. It wasn't there. It wasn't there at all.
Yeah. People used to hide solutions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People used to hide. They're afraid, like, okay, someone else might see my design. But through sharing your designs, people get clients from Twitter.
Yeah. And you get feedback.
Exactly.
Which
you get
actually
feedback.
can improve how you work. Yeah.
And you get feedback from actual users, right? And you also get
professionals, other designers who rate you.
Exactly.
Give you referrals.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, designers from other part of the world with different what should I say, with different knowledge, with different what's the word, exposure, perspective and experience, so this rise of Corona, gig economy is making all this ecosystem of ours taking it a different turn, which I think we're going in the right way. Yeah.
So let me ask this then. Beside, Dar es Salaam, I'm sure that now that you mentioned, I think in our previous conversation we have talked about Mbeya a lot, right? And there are so many guys who qualify and go there, and even Tanga, right? That means it's like there are two opposite sides of the country. One is in the south, the other one is in the north, and those are so many kilometers apart. Do you guys, because all of you are community leaders in one way or the other, right? How do you reach out to these guys? Do you do outreach workshops, hackathons or engagements? Or all the action is in just that?
So I believe every location has their main community of people.
Yeah.
For example, for Google developers, we had GDG Dar es Salaam, and the other one there is GDG Bukoba or Tabora, something like that. So that means whatever happens in Dar es Salaam, also it will happen there. And also we have a lot of startup hubs in Dar es Salaam, and also some of them are in Arusha. And we have people's right now are moving a lot. For example, we have the most famous freelancer creator. Also, he's kind of motivation for a lot of communities. Baraka Mafole moves from one community to another, amplifying what he's doing, and also making sure everyone is in the right place.
Yeah.
So to us, reaching out to them it's first from communication, let's say social medias,
Yeah.
and making sure we know their events and our events, and see how we can invite each other from one community to another and participate. For example, in the past 2 months, we have had events, and like let's say past year we have had events where we invited people from different areas in Tanzania and also outside of Tanzania, let's say Kenya, for example, who have been coming here and participating in our events.
Yeah.
So that way we kind of team up together and build something together, and also making sure that all of us were on the same page by making sure what we do here, someone out there knows it. And also in the back, in the time past, like we didn't have methods of recording something or documenting what we have done, or telling people like the way of conveying content, like what will we do or what we have we done. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
But right now we have that. Like we've been opened and to know how to plan everything. Yeah. And so that way, if I did something, somebody else can learn from me and see what else can be done.
For sure.
Also to add on that, like there are other communities also. Like there are people that are also pushing in other regions. Though of course it's to be honest, Dar es Salaam, has the most number of, even the largest population in the country. So it's by design it's the business capital of the country. But we have other like centers, tech centers, for example, in Mbeya. Again, Mbeya will coming up again. Like Mbeya, it's a university in Mbeya, a tech university there. They have a very big community there. I think even one of the founder, the guys mentioned this neurotech founder, Caleb Jordan, who is the creator of, is behind the Sarufi conversational AI API. Is a product of most as well. But also even in Dodoma, like the University of Dodoma, I think the College of Informatics, I'm aware of the things they are pushing there. They have like good developers, people that have co-founded businesses, people that have founded products are coming from the college, from the program built by that college. This startup, it's called Tunza, which is a platform that enables people to receive payment, little by little. You pay by installments. But also even in Arusha right now, there is a new hub in Arusha, a tech hub that is doing a nice job. Yeah. So even ourselves, of course, the bigger platform that we are using right now is Twitter. Twitter, we have been like, for example, where I am right now at Africa's Get Paid. We are doing Get Paid Africa. I mean, we are doing these Twitter Spaces like every week. We are doing it, so we are connecting with people on places that we couldn't reach them physically. We could connect with freelancing expert from Mwanza, for example. Yeah,
is Mwanza so far?
Yeah, Mwanza it is, man. It is.
Is the other side of as you go to Rwanda? Or?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see.
By
like
bus
1,500 kilometers from here. More 1,000.
No, it can't be else. Yeah. By bus it takes more than 12 hours, I think.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So things are happening even outside Dar es Salaam. For example, just last 2 weeks, there was an event in Dodoma, blockchain community event in Dodoma. People learning about blockchain. Yeah. And actually, you get the feedback on Twitter. Like people are reporting back on Twitter, like learn this, I learned this, I learned that. So the community is the tech community is growing by individuals and even by organizations.
Yes.
These same people that are coming. For example, let me tell you a story that connects me with Benjamin Fernandez. I remember in 2019 he came to speak at my local church. There was a youth event. Yeah. Some of the things that he spoke about tech, back then I wasn't even deep into tech, I was considering it. But some of the things that he spoke there, I used them and I've seen the impacted my growth in tech. Yeah. So things are happening, things are changing. And these people that have been impacted maybe 4 years ago are the people that right now, some of them, we see them starting up startups. Yeah. Of course, to mention one big thing is like we have now the startup community, the startup organization, the Tanzania Startup Association, which is it's also doing a very nice job to bring together startups and see like the common challenges, even how to like lob the government, approach the government, propose policies in the government. So I think the things are changing.
I would also say the power of social media is actually helping. I'll add on Justin. It helps us to connect, with people from other regions who we cannot be together in Dar es Salaam. Because like in one of the, I would say back in the days in one of the Andela meetings, there are people from Morogoro that would come and attend here. They'll come all the way, and sometimes there would be a way to actually help them with funding and bus fee to just come and attend together.